I asked my kids what they wanted for Christmas, and what they said broke me. When I was younger, Christmas felt like pure magic. My mom would bake cinnamon cookies, and our tiny living room would glow. We'd argue over who got to hang the star first, and nobody cared if our tree looked crooked. I thought those moments would follow me forever. When I got older, I married a girl who loved the holidays even more than I did. We planned matching pajamas, family movie nights, and silly Christmas cards. When we found out she was pregnant, we bought tiny socks and a little blanket with reindeer on it. But one terrible night at the hospital, everything went wrong. I lost my wife and our baby. My world went silent. For years, I couldn't go near anything Christmas-related. I ignored decorations, wore headphones in stores, and shut the curtains when neighbors hung up lights. Holidays felt like a cruel reminder of what I lost. 5 years later, something inside me softened. Maybe I was tired of feeling empty, so I went to a local adoption center. I walked into a room filled with noise and energy. Kids everywhere, laughing, yelling, playing. But in the corner were two brothers. One was 6, the other 9. They sat close together, holding hands like life had taught them to stay small. I sat beside them. They didn't ask for toys or candy. They just asked if I could stay for a little while. I visited every day after work. Sometimes we colored pictures. Sometimes we just talked about school lunch. The older boy always let the younger one draw first. He watched him like a shield. When the adoption was approved, they came home with me. They didn't explore or run around like I expected. They whispered. They touched things carefully like everything might break. They asked permission before sitting on the couch and slowly ate dinner like they were afraid I might take it away. That first night, I found pieces of bread under their pillows. They told me they used to save food because they didn't know when they'd eat again. They slept on the floor beside the bed because they didn't want to make messes. The older boy kept his shoes by the door so he could run quickly if needed. 2 weeks later, while we were eating spaghetti, I asked, "So what do you both want for Christmas?" They froze. The younger one asked, "Is that a kind of food?" The older boy said, "Isn't that when adults get drunk and yell?" I felt something crack inside my chest. They'd never had a Christmas tree, never opened a present, never hung a stocking. They only saw Christmas through windows in other homes while they hid in a car. So I decorated when they were asleep. I bought stockings, paper snowflakes, and silly reindeer hats. I hid gifts in the closet. I learned how to make Santa footprints using flour on the carpet and left cookie crumbs on a plate. On Christmas Eve, they sat by the window. I smiled, thinking they were waiting for Santa, but the older boy whispered, "If police lights come, can we stay anyway? We've never stayed this long." I told them softly, "You're safe here." At 3 a.m., I finished setting everything up. Stockings full, presents stacked, cookie plate messy. I went to bed nervous, like a kid again. The next morning, I woke to screaming, but happy screaming. They bounced around the room pointing at the flower boot tracks and the cookie crumbs. They didn't even look at the presents at first. They hugged each other, shouting, "He's real! He's real!" Finally, they opened gifts slowly, like the wrapping paper was made of gold. Coloring books, gloves, toy cars, nothing fancy, but their faces looked like fireworks. Then the younger one hugged my leg and whispered, "Do we get to stay next year too?" The older boy touched the Santa boot print, then looked up at me and asked something I'll never forget. "Are you real too, or will you disappear later?" I hugged them so tight I could barely breathe. That day I realized something. Christmas isn't magic because of presents. It's magic because it proves to someone who's never had hope that hope can finally be theirs.